Hey, welcome. And before we call this function, we have over here, we want to add validation check to our test form fields. Okay. Now to do this, we have to go to the ports folder and then the vendor underscore register screen. Okay. Then Control and B to make this wide. And over here, we have this first test form field. And within the test form field, it has a property known as validator. And within the parentheses of the validator, it's going to take in something known as value, which is basically referring to whatsoever the user is going to type in. And now we can have an if statement. We can then say a value dot is empty. And over here also, we need a check. If it is empty, then we want to return a text to the user, which is going to say, please business name must not be empty. That's good. Else, if it is filled in, then we want to allow the user to go. To do this, we just have to say return no. Return no. And we can do this also for the email address. And within the test form field, it has a property known as validator. And within the parentheses of the validator, it's going to take in something known as value, which is basically referring to whatsoever the user is going to type in. And now we can have an if statement, and we can say if the value dot is empty. If the user refuses to type anything, then we want to return test, which is going to say please email address must not be empty. Great. Else, if it is filled in, we just want to do nothing, return null. And now we can easily copy this, and hopefully you've mastered this process now. And paste this over here. And this is going to be phone number. Scroll down. And in the future, we're going to be able to add validation check for the state, city, and country. But for now, we can just go on and okay, within this test form field we have is this, and this is going to say task ID or task number. Great. And in order to make this form to work, we have to wrap it with a widget known as form. Sorry. In order to make this form work, we have to wrap our parent column with a form widget. And scroll down. You can see over here we have this custom scroll view, and okay, we have this custom scroll view, and within this custom scroll view we have the silver bar, and we have the column, and it is basically for this you're seeing over here. And basically we want to have validation check within this form field, that is within the body, right? So we have to scroll down to where we have the silver to bus adapter, and you can see the first main widget we have is the column, right? And now we have to highlight and use control and dot, and we want to wrap with form. And the next step is to create a form key and then attribute that form key to this form. To do this, scroll up, and over here we can create a finder, and we can just go ahead and specify the type of variable. This is a type of something known as global key and form state. And we can call this underscore form key. and it's going to be equal to the global. We can easily just copy and paste this now. Paste. And lastly, we have to call this grid. And now we have to attribute this underscore form key to the form. Scroll up, scroll up where you and within the form widget, it has a property known as key, and now we can call the form key. Great. And for now, we can just check over here. And in the future, we're going to create a function to store what we're about to do. Or we are going to create it within a function, but for now, we can just do it over here. Or we can just do it above. And over here, we can create a function and we can call this function underscore save vendor details. Remember we added this underscore because we do not want to be able to call this function outside this file. So basically we are making it private. And over here we can have a check. We can then say underscore form key and we can get the current situation of the form. To do that, we have to say current state dot validate. Then we want to print the test. If it is filled in, we want to say good. Else, if the user refuses to fill anything, sorry, we then want to print bad. Now we can call this function. Scroll down, and you can see we already wrapped our container with an inkwell or with a button. And the type of button we used was inkwell. Underscore save vendor data, sorry, details. And now we can try this out. Okay. And it's going to work as expected for sure.